Hey guys, gals, and music pals, it's Miss Thrift-Winch. It is, what day is it? Let's see, what day is it? Wednesday, March 25th, and it is beautiful outside today. It's nice, it's warm. I was able to put my plants outside, and they're growing really well. It's just so much nicer than it has been the past couple days. I hope everybody's doing well, staying healthy, staying safe. I hope you're working hard on your e-learning. And today we are going to read about Miss Clara Schumann. Her piano music is playing in the background. Turn that down just a smidge. So she was born in Leipzig, Germany in 1819, and she died in Frankfurt, Germany in 1896. She was a German composer considered to be one of the greatest pianists of all time, a direct influence on the music of Robert Schumann and Johannes Brahms. When Clara Wieck was a little girl, a student of her father's used to tease her with scary stories. He would wait till the room got dark and then dress up as a ghost, making shapes in the dim light. The man was Robert Schumann, and when Clara grew up, she married him. Robert became a brilliant composer, but seeing Clara play at age 9 was what gave him the idea of starting a career in music and studying with her father, one of the leading piano teachers in Germany. Clara's childhood was most unusual. She could hardly talk and was at first thought to be a deaf mute. Her father, her parents were divorced, started giving her piano lessons partly to reassure himself that she could hear. She began speaking normally at age 8, when she was already on her way to becoming a world-famous pianist. Her concerts were so popular that police had to be called in to control the crowds. Fancy desserts were named after her. Poets wrote poems about her. She was nervous before a concert, rarely satisfied with her performances, and often depressed afterward. But she found touring exhilarating and made dozens of tours outside Germany. In every town, she wore a different white dress each night. Chopin called her the only woman in Germany who can play my music, and Robert wrote all his music with her in mind. Your eyes, you romantic girl, he once wrote, follow me everywhere, and I often think one cannot make such music without a bride. He used some of her melodies, and she premiered his music, which was considered weird all over Europe. She was the famous one during her marriage. She was known as Queen of the Piano, while he was known as Clara Wieck's husband. She was a much better pianist than he, and could earn more in 3 weeks than he could in a year. And that's impressive. Because even now, sometimes ladies make less money than gentlemen do, which is not okay, but you know. I digress. Clara Schumann composed some 23 piano works, and most of her concerts included at least one work of her own. But at age 20, she wrote, I once thought that I possessed a creative talent, but I have given up that idea. A woman must not desire to be a composer. Not one has done it, and why should I expect to? After she was married, she kept performing but stopped composing. Unable to practice whenever Robert was working, she practiced at night when he had gone out with friends. There is not even one little hour in the whole day for myself, she said. Besides teaching piano and organizing all the details of her concert tours, she supervised a household of 3 servants, spent several hours each day writing letters, nursed Robert through several breakdowns, and took care of her children. She had 8 within 16 years. She attributed her energy to the long walks she took every day. Clara knew everybody. Composers like Franz Liszt, Richard Wagner, and Felix Mendelssohn came to dinner. Her best friend was Johannes Brahms, 14 years her junior. She inspired much of his music. By rights, he wrote, I should have to inscribe all my best melodies, really, by Clara Schumann. She was left a widow at 37 when Robert died. To support her family, she turned to performing full-time. She had a longer career than any man of the time, 60 years, and a larger repertoire. Only arthritis stopped her performing. As she died, at age 77, she asked her grandson to play Robert's music for her. It was the last music she ever heard. And then our musical notes. 3 of Clara's daughters and several granddaughters became piano teachers, and many of her students became prominent teachers as well. One, Carl Feinberg, came to the United States and taught at what is now the Juilliard School of Music. During their first year of marriage, Robert composed more than 130 songs, his chief claim to fame. After their first child, he wrote 3 symphonies in rapid succession. Whenever Clara left on tour, he was unable to compose. Robert wrote some of the best music there is for children learning to play piano, such as Scenes from Childhood and Album for the Very Young, because of his relationship with Clara when she was a child. So there is Miss Schumann, and tomorrow we are going to get to our first American composer, Stephen Foster. He's one I haven't heard as much of, so it'll be an interesting experience. But I hope everybody is staying safe, doing everything you can, washing your hands, and doing all of your e-learning. I hope you get the chance to get outside, get some sunshine, and I will see you tomorrow with another composer story time. I'm also going to start making some guided videos for actual music lessons. They're not going to be the same they would be in the classroom, but we're going to try and get as close as we can. So be looking out for those after spring break, which starts on Friday. There won't be a composer story time on Friday, because Friday is technically the first day of spring break. Okay? That was really loud, sorry. I'm having to be quiet because the baby is napping, So we will pick up with Stephen Foster tomorrow, and I will see you guys later. Bye!